Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is June 13th, 2022. We are in the New Testament. We are in the book of Philemon, and we're kind of moving through it slowly. We're going to look at chapter 1. Well, there's only one chapter again. And we're going to look at verse 4 through 7. Now, we looked at the salutation part of it yesterday. And if you remember, we pointed out that prisoner of Christ and said, man, there's a lot you can read into that. Paul says he's a prisoner of Christ, then he's over Timothy, Timothy's over Philemon, Philemon's over that church in his household. So he's kind of set up that hierarchy of how the church works. Or you can kind of say, well, you know what, Christ is a prisoner. That kind of puts him at the bottom of the social structure. Then you got Paul on top of that, and he supports Timothy, and Timothy supports Philemon. Philemon supports the people in his church. So you've got that servant thing going in just by that one little phrase and how you can interpret that. And I tell you what, whenever you see a phrase in something Paul writes that can be interpreted more than one way, Paul probably meant you to think of it in as many different ways as you can think, because that's the kind of writer he was. So that's the introduction. So Paul kind of reinforcing that idea of how a leader responds to his church. In this next section, some people kind of look at it that he's kind of puffing up Philemon and buttering him up for what he's about to ask him. And there's some of that too, but if you notice some of the words that he's going to use here, thanks and blessings and love and fellowship and union. So he's reminding him about all that, hey, equality in the Christian sphere. That just because he's over this church, he has to kind of keep track of the people that are underneath him and love them and treat them as equals. So yeah, there's a little buttering up in there, but he's also doing what he just did in the introduction of placing Philemon in that structure of the church, but then kind of putting the horizontal structure of how he's supposed to relate to other people before he gets to what he's going to ask him, which we're going to see tomorrow. So anyway, today we're going to do Philemon, verse 4 to 7. Brother Philemon, every time I pray, I mention you and give thanks to my God. For I hear of your love for all of God's people and the faith you have in the Lord Jesus. My prayer is that our fellowship with you as believers will bring about a deeper understanding of every blessing which we have in our life in union with Christ. Your love, dear brother, has brought me great joy and much encouragement. You have cheered the hearts of all of God's people. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.